everybody has had a fantastic start to 2018. I know that I have, and you know what the start of 2018 means. That means that Valentine's Day is coming up. That means that we're moving towards hopefully some warmer weather, because I personally don't like this colder weather. And that also means new tutorials. Hey everybody, today I have filmed a tutorial that features some new products I've been working with, some old favorites that I never got to use, and also I tried to do something a little bit less vampy because I know I've been like on a vampy kick, so I tried to tone it down a little bit. This is me toned down. So I hope you guys enjoy my tutorial. So I started this tutorial by using the Invisibobby, which is a stretchy, non-tugging, non-hair pulling hairband. Gotta put that hair back. Now I'm going to be using the Amazing Cosmetics. This is the Illuminate Primer. It's also a highlight and it's in the shade Bronze. This is going to add a glowy, dewy, lit from within type look underneath my foundation. I like to prime with highlighting foundations because it really makes skin look fresh. And as you can see, even though it's bronzy, there's no mess on the hand. Now the foundation that I'm using is the Born This Way foundation, and this is from Too Faced Cosmetics. I'm applying it with my Juno & Co. Fusion Sponge. This sponge is amazing. It's got a velvet-like texture around the entire sponge, so you can really step up your beauty blending game with this sponge. Honestly, it's the best sponge I've ever used in my life, and I would highly recommend it to anyone who just needs a little help blending their makeup. I mean, look at how it just applies my foundation. It's absolutely flawless. I could rub it on, pat it on, dab it on, use it moist, use it dry. This sponge just works perfectly to get that airbrush look. The Juno & Co. website sells brushes for as low as $2. You guys have to check it out. There'll be a link in the info section below. So I'm blending my foundation all over my nose, my face, under my eye, pretty much everywhere, and I love that you can use this beauty blender to wipe the foundation on or do the traditional dabbing. You could do both with this sponge. And I have excellent full coverage. Now I'm going to be using concealer, and I'm using the Born This Way concealer. I'm applying it under my eye, and as you can see, I'm dragging it down towards my cheek. This is to ensure that I do not have the reverse raccoon. I'm also applying it to the center of my nose and the center of my forehead. I'm basically trying to apply it to places on my face where light would naturally hit me. Because when you use a highlighter, you're accentuating pretty much parts on your face that you want to bring more attention to. And I'm going back with the side of the Fusion Sponge. The top part of the Fusion Sponge is flat, so it's perfect for getting right there under the eye and also blending in just smaller curvatures of the face. So right there on the inner corner of the eye and also down the center of the nose makes blending it really easy. I'm also able to use the wider side on the forehead, since that's a larger area of skin. Now I'm going to be applying my shadow, and I'm using the Too Faced Peanut Butter Jelly palette. And I'm using another brush from Juno & Co., and this is ES06. Now this brush is perfect for applying matte shadows and even satin shadows. I'm starting with the shade Spread the Love from the palette, and I'm applying this all over my lid. I'm applying from lash line to brow bone. And you can see I'm doing a sweeping motion, a back and forth motion, and this really helps to cover the entire lid. As I've mentioned in other videos, I don't use a cream primer, and this is a great way to blend other shades on top if you start with a base shade. So that's why I'm applying this lighter, very close to my skin type shade. Now I'm going to be applying peanut butter, and I'm dabbing my brush into the shadow, and then I'm dabbing the shadow onto my lid. This palette tends to have a lot of kickback, which can lead to a lot of fallout. You'll see later in this video that I had a little bit of fallout problem. Not with this shade, with another one. So you want to tap your matte shades on. This way you minimize your fallout, you minimize your kickback, and you just minimize your mess. This is a tip I recommend for palettes that just have these issues, and the Peanut Butter Jelly palette, even though it has some great shades, has a little bit of issues to it. So this is going to give an even coverage, and it also helps you to really build up the shade on your lid, so your shade on your lid looks very similar to what you see in the pan. Now I'm blending this out with the Mata brush. This is one of the Royal & Nickel Mata brushes. I love their blender brushes because they really help to smooth my look and really help to make sure that everything looks perfectly transitional. Now I'm using that same brush to apply Peanut Butter Cup. Now Peanut Butter Cup is a very hard shade to work with. I got tons of fallout on my cheek. It's just it's rough. As you see, I'm blowing into my hand just to try and get some off my face. Trying to get it off without having to mess up my foundation. So once I've gotten rid of that fallout, I continue to bring the color to the center of the crease, and I continue blending out towards the outer V. You really want to make sure that you blend this one properly. As you see, I'm building it now and I have a little bit less fallout. It's that initial kickback of this shade. There's a little bit of a problem, but my Mata brush is able to blend it all out. So you're bringing it up towards the brow and out towards the crease. You're really just defining that outer V. Now, even though this shade has a little bit of shimmer in the pan, when you're applying it to the eye, you really kind of lose all of that shimmer. Now I'm going to be applying Jelly, which is the brightest shade in the palette, and I'm going to be applying that to the inner corner of the eye. Purple usually isn't a color that I use in the inner corner of the eye. I usually go for more highlighting shade, but I thought that this look really deserved just a little bit of a pop of color. So I'm applying it just there in the corner of the eye and bringing it down slightly to the lower lash line. Well, the inner lower lash line. Now I'm going to be applying my liner. I'm using the Absolute New York Duo Stroke. This is one of my favorite liners because one side is thinner than the other, meaning that you can have that super crisp point, and you can have a super crisp point, and you can have a super thick liner for the rest of the eye. Now for this, I'm just going to be using one side, and I'm going to be using the thicker side. As you can see, I'm drawing a line from the inner corner of the eye out. Once I get to the outer side, I'm following where I applied the shadow. If you didn't apply your shadow like this, just pretend there's an imaginary line from the end of your lid to the end of your brow, and that's kind of your guide of where you want to put your line. Now you can go back and slightly fill in. As you see, I'm lightly going as I fill in. I don't always perfect the super sweep where you just sweep across, so I tend to go in shorter strokes a lot of the time. So if you're ever having trouble with your liner, or say you're just, you're not a seasoned pro and you're still learning how to do your liner and you're wondering, how do the pros get it a little bit crisp, you could just use short, soft strokes and you'll still achieve that perfect wing liner. With this liner specifically, don't be afraid to use the thinner side if you need to add a little bit more precision or you want to define your line a little bit more. As for my brows, I'm using the ColourPop Cosmetics. This is the Banging Brunette Gel Brow Cream. Now this allows me to really fill in my brows and just get a very natural look and also a defined look. So I'm starting off by defining the shape of my eye. Even though I have bigger, bushier eyes, they need a little bit of help in the shape department. So I define my arch and also do soft, short, upward strokes to mimic the look of natural hair for my brow. I'm not typically one who goes for an Instagram brow. If you'd like to go a little bit more dramatic, go ahead, but for this look, I tried to follow my natural brow as much as possible while defining the arch. For my cheeks, I'm trying a brand new brand called Cheekbone Cosmetics. Cheekbone Cosmetics is a Canadian brand that supports First Nations education. If you'd like to know more about this brand, I have a complete review coming soon. Now this is their Stardust Highlight Palette. I love that it has the name Stardust in it because I'm Recycled Stardust on Instagram, and I love highlight. I'm applying it with my Juno & Co. fan brush. Now this brush is $2 on their website, which is an amazing deal. As you can see, this highlight looks beautiful. It's a very natural looking highlight. In the pan, it looks a little bit more metallic than when it is applied to the skin. It gives you a very nice earthreal glow, a glow from within type glow. It's not a super high metallic glow. This palette is multi-use in that you can use the middle shade for blush, you can use this on the eye, you can use this as a shadow on the lid, you can use this in the inner corner of the eye, the brow bone, the nose, the cupid's bow. You can use this highlight in any way on the face and it comes out beautifully. But today I decided to use it on my cheekbones and accentuate those nice native cheekbones I have, and I love the way it turned out. For my contour, I'm using Derma Blend Pro Professional Bronze Camel Bronzing Powder. I'm using another Juno & Co. brush, and this gives me a really nice defined hollow on my cheek. I love how soft these brushes feel. They do not shed, they're easy to clean, they just feel amazing on the skin. They just glide so perfectly, like they feel like a super high-end brush, but they're so affordable. And I love the tapered ends to the brush. It really makes it easy to hold in the hand, and it feels comfortable. So as you can see, I'm using a back and forth motion to apply my contour, and I'm applying some slightly to the sides of my nose. Now I'm going to be applying lashes. These are Feline lashes. This is the Kitty collection. This is my first time using these lashes, but I really like the design and shape, and I love how easy it is to put on. Now I apply my lashes with my hand. I apply to the center and I just push down and I kind of clamp it to and then I clamp it to my natural lashes with my 2 fingers. Makes putting on lashes fairly simple. For my lashes, I'm staying within the Too Faced family and I'm using the Better Than Sex mascara. This mascara helps to blend my natural lashes into my falsies. I'm wiggling the brush as I go up to really help them blend together. I'm also applying this mascara to my lower lashes to add definition. Next up, I'm going to be plumping up my lips and I'm using the Candy Lips Apple, and this is a very gentle way to plump your lips. It is a silicone apple that uses the suction to plump your lips gently. Now you're not going to get the Kylie Jenner ring around your lips, and the results last for a few hours. Very gentle, doesn't even hurt. Little tingling, that's all. Next up, for my lips, I'm going to be applying the Cheekbone Cosmetics. This is their liquid to matte lipstick in the shade Autumn. I love how creamy this was to apply, even though it's a liquid to matte. So it does set down to a matte, but during application, it's quite soft. Now, when you apply it, it's opaque in one swipe, and the doe foot applicator makes it very easy to apply and line your lips. This shade does not feather, does not bleed, and does not settle into the fine lines. It's set within 2 minutes. I love how it's a beautiful bright red, and I feel like it would be flattering on most skin tones. I think this look would be perfect for any romantic date, night out, or even just an everyday look for those who are bold. So that finishes things up, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully you found it easy to follow. I hope that you guys liked that I included some indie brands along with some bigger brands. I like to mix it up a little bit. And also, if you're not already, please be sure to follow me on Instagram at Recycled Stardust, and please be sure to tell me what you guys want to see. I want to know what you want, so let me know what you want. Leave me some comments, DM me on Instagram, just leave me some messages. I read every single message you guys send me, and I will be sure to film something that is catered to what you guys want. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching.